Abarth 124 Spider Review. Last year we saluted Fiat for the canny reasoning that resulted in the 124 Spider, its first rear-drive sports car since the original model was discontinued in the early 1980s. Although the amalgamation of Mazda MX-5 mechanicals and Italian styling was not a flawless integration by any means, it delivered the kind of desirable product that was so obviously missing from Fiat's limited and conventional lineup. However, to Abarth, Fiat's feisty tuning division, the 124 is of arguably much greater import. Where its parent, through minimal investment of resource, gained a useful image bump, particularly in the US, and a very decent roadster, Abarth gets the chance to apply its underused talents to an already admirably talented piece of kit, a dramatic shift from its current norm of upgrading the Fiat 500's modest abilities. The fact that there is also a manifest gap in the market for Abarth's version does it no harm, either. Mazda is famously conservative when it comes to boosting the MX-5's power, and although the Spider doesn't dramatically increase its established output, the 36 pounds-foot of additional peak torque, and a much greater dose of it at lower revs, of course, supplied by the turbocharged 1.4-liter multi-air engine promises to be significant in a car that weighs not much more than a ton. Furthermore, by returning the mechanical limited slip differential denied to the cooking versions of the 124 Spider, Abarth has been allowed to set out its stall. This looks like an authentically sporting sort of Spider, and potentially the small Italian roadster we've been waiting for since long before the misconceived Fiat Barchetta was axed. Certainly, it will need to be if Fiat is to justify the asking price. Starting at £29,565, the Abarth is almost £6,000 pricier than a top-spec MX-5. Those are fancy, feelsome boots to fill, but the payoff ought to be the best Scorpion badge wearer since the Autobianchi A112 Abarth of the mid-1970s. Naturally, the Abarth shares its major body panels with Fiat's version of the Spider, although that hasn't prevented easy differentiation between the two. In large part, that's because of the tuner's racing anti-glare kit, which is a splendidly facetious description for the matte black treatment enacted on the 124's long bonnet. This signals its maker's sentimental awareness of recent history and places the car in homage-like context, but there's more besides. The car's aggressive front bumper has been significantly redesigned to accommodate larger air intakes, and the rear has a record Monza quad exhaust to go with further scoops in the paneling. The pipes are connected to the same turbocharged 1.4-liter multi-air engine as in the Fiat 124 Spider, albeit in a heightened state of tune here. The previously modest 138 bhp at 5,000 revolutions per minute wound up to 168 bhp at 5,500 revolutions per minute. That's slightly more than is developed by Mazda's naturally aspirated 2.0-liter lump, but it is the heftier peak torque, delivered 2,000 revolutions per minute sooner, that distinguishes the Italian four-cylinder unit from its Japanese opposite. Beyond the engine bay, the Abarth probably shares more mechanical components with the equivalent MX-5 than its Fiat sibling. Like Mazda's most expensive variant, the Abarth gets the Bilstein dampers and rear limited slip differential not available on the cooking model, although the front double wishbone and rear multi-link suspension are standard throughout both ranges. As you might expect, the specific chassis tune is Abarth's own, and its 124 gains stiffened anti-roll bars and a higher specification of Bridgestone potenza tire than Fiat's Spider. As Turin's engineers did, Abarth claims to have maintained the MX-5's perfect 50-50 weight distribution despite having the same longer nose and weightier engine as the cheaper 124 Spider. We didn't have a chance to check that weight distribution, but we'd be mildly surprised if it didn't replicate the 55-45 spread recorded by the Fiat. We also haven't yet driven the 6-speed Sequenza Sportivo automatic in the UK. The auto is popular overseas, although our experience suggests that the short-throw standard manual gearbox, tested here, is the smarter investment.